The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Do not compete with or compare yourself to your partner. You are both different. Yes, we are different. So there is no need to compare. If you have your husband, your wife around, put again, please, Chad, the slide. So read this part in blue, the part that is by the button. Read it there, please. Read it to your husband. Read it to your wife. Read it you together now. Yes, we are different. So there is no need to compare. As you know, Pastor Philip, this is something that we are always commenting here in the program, with Karina, and also when Anna is around. Comparisons is a killer. Is a killer, because if we try to make comparisons in marriage, any comparison I make is not fair. It's not fair. Especially because couples, when they are together, they have to understand that they came from different places. They came from different backgrounds. They have, different upbringings. And even when they have similar situation, that was my case, for example, myself and my wife, we came from basically the same area in São Paulo City, there in Brazil. So when we talk about the things we used to do when we were young, though we didn't know each other, but all these things, they are in common. They were in common because it was, of the same area. So the zoo we used to go was the same zoo, even the theater.
The same environment.
The same environment, though we never met each other by the young age. So we had, very similar things, the traditions, the local traditions, the local, the local things, they are pretty much the same. Even the festivals and everything was quite the same. However, when we start living together after marriage, of course, we noticed that all these similar things we had that really, makes us excited of the idea of moving on to marriage, because we had really very similar points. But we saw that all those similarities couldn't help us, because we are still different. We noticed that, come on, we are so, similar in many aspects, but on the other hand,
so different
from each other. And because of these similarities, for a moment, we made mistakes. I believe most of the couples, they've made this mistake also, to start comparing yourself to the other. And this comparison is not fair. For example, you cannot compare, for you men, you cannot compare your strength, your physical strength, to the physical strength of your wife. For example, when she comes to you and asks you, for example, can you please open this can? And come on, you cannot say, come on, do it. Be strong.
You cannot do it. How come you cannot do it? I just do it simply.
Yeah. So it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison, when you do these things. So if she start also making comparisons, because when we start comparing us to somebody else, usually we use our, strong things. You never compare. For example, if I start drawing here, you see that I have zero skills in drawing. I don't know. Sometimes I try to draw a circle, but even my circle
it's like an egg.
Looks like an egg. It's impossible for me to draw a perfect circle. But that's me. But if, for example, Chad, you draw really well, right, Chad? Was it you?
I never said it, but I used to. When I was younger, I tried to do
something.
I put some art on a website.
So, how can I compare myself to someone who knows how to do it?
Yes.
It's not fair.
Yes, Pastor. And here, do not compete. It's the same team.
Yeah.
You're playing the same team. It's like, the men will understand. It's like you're playing football and you're a striker and you laugh on your keeper because someone is scoring him. Yeah. Or you're cheering for him, or someone will score him. But come on, it's the same team. Yeah. You're playing together. We used to say, you're in the same boat. Mm-hmm. If one sink, the other one will sink as well. So then how can you be competing or trying to be just better than one, or trying to show you're better than the other person.
Yeah.
You are in the same team. If the person is in the same team, if the boat sink, both they are going to sink together. If the team lose, both they are losing together.
Yeah, so please avoid comparisons, okay? Avoid comparisons. This is horrible. If you have to compare your partner to someone or to somebody, you can do it, but you can do it in a different way. You can do it, for example, you men, let me give you this tip, since the wives, they are not here tonight, so we have this freedom here tonight.
We took over the program.
We took over, exactly. But, for example, this is an extra tip. This tip is not prepared there. But if you want to compare your wife, to someone, so you have to compare her in her strongest point. You can say, can you see, you are amazing. You are much more beautiful than that lady. Oh, you are, your food is much better than this restaurant. So these kind of comparisons, they're really helpful.
Yeah, Pastor, I do this very often when we go to a restaurant to eat something, and then I say, oh, this food is really nice, but I would not exchange it for your food because you cook it much better.
Extra points. So learn the lesson, okay? If you want to compare using the right measure, not the wrong one. Listen to your partner. Yes. And you, your husband, your wife, you have to say this last part in blue, the part at the bottom. Read it now. The best way to resolve issues is by communicating, right? Yes, very well. Communication is the key. We are always reinforcing that, hitting the same key, and we will always do, because communication is vital for a marriage. And communication is not only to speak and to be heard, but also the way you do that. Because, for example, there are husbands, sometimes, Pastor Philip, that they do like that. Okay, I'm listening to you. Come on, speak. You have 5 minutes, huh? Counting down. And now, because, we have the technology, they can say, Alexa, count 5 minutes down.
And then when the wife starts talking about something else, oh, you're wasting your time. No, that's not the way really listening. Listening means to pay attention, to understand, to put yourself in, to wear her shoes, if we can say this way, and to understand her. And also, you women who are listening to us, listen also to your husband. Sometimes they don't like to speak much, but try to listen.
The few he speaks, you can be sure that would be really, really nice. And communication, as we are saying, is not only about talking and listening, but communication is also what you do and how you do. Much of communication is we do without words. Communication, I believe there is a proper statistic about it. Chad, you can help me with that, please. That I believe more than 50% of our communication relies on your expressions, in your body language, in the way you do it. So it's not only about you be talking, but the way you speak. The way we speak. One of the problems that sometimes we find, advising couples is that husbands, that they come to us and they say, but Pastor, I do listen to my wife. I take a time to listen to her. No, but I for many times I'm complimenting my wife. But it's not only about what you do, but how you do. This is also important.
Yes, I'm listening to my wife, but I'm also connected on my phone. I'm also checking my emails.
Yes.
No, talk there. I'm just checking here some emails about the business, about the work. But you can talk. I'm still listening.
It would be much better for you to say, honey, give me 5 minutes. Let me finish this, and then I get back to you. That would be much better, so you're going to give full attention, right? Last tip of the night. Do not go to bed whilst still upset with each other. So read it then now to your husband, your wife. Resolve any issues before going to bed. This is really, really important for couples that they want to move on. It sometimes it's hard because maybe you are asking, and what if we had a disagreement like midnight, already bedtime, or perhaps in the bed? What should you do? Would it be much better if you could resolve that before sleeping? But perhaps if you notice, of course, that the moment is not the right, if that would be good for you to wait. But there is another thing about this: waiting for the right time to talk. Do not postpone a lot, okay? Do not leave it like to another day, 2 days, or 3 days. Don't do it. Don't do it. Try to find a better way, and if you a better moment, and if you're not finding, try to provoke this moment. When I say provoke this moment, is not in a negative way, okay, but in a good way, causing a situation.
Create an opportunity for you both to talk and to resolve it. No? Otherwise, it's like a cup that is always falling a drop. One drop, one time it will overflow.
Yes.
And in the time that overflow is because there is a lot of drops that have fallen on this cup.
Exactly. So it's really important for you, to sleep in peace. Indeed, having the assurance that everything is okay between you and your spouse. This is priceless. The peace you have, that will make that will make your sleep even better. That will make you wake up in the morning light, good. Will save you time, will save you from stress, and then you'll be ready to have a blessed day, right?
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.